Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, here comes Judy. Still letting people in. And this is our 1230 70s class. And this is one of my favorite classes because this is my era of music and I love it. I love teaching this class. I love teaching all my classes. What the heck? It's Let It Be today. Let It Be. So what do we know about Let It Be? And yeah, I've got some handouts for you as well today. All right. This was released in 1970, written and sung by Paul McCartney, but it is credited to Lennon-McCartney. Now, why did they do that? Because they had like a contract that no matter who wrote the songs, if they wrote it together, if they wrote them separately, it would all just be credited to the Lennon-McCartney team. So that's what happened for money purposes, so that they would just both be kind of equal in that respect. As time, at the time, this song had the highest debut on the Billboard Hot 100, started at number 6 right off the bat, and then it eventually did get to number 1. It was the Beatles' last single before Paul announced his departure from the band. So the last two albums that they actually put out were post Paul McCartney, even though he was on the albums. They put them out after he had already left the band and went solo. Now, the idea of Let It Be came after Paul had a dream about his mom. Guess what his mom's name was? Mary. Mary Patricia McCartney. She died of cancer in 1956 when Paul was only 14. So she appeared to him in a dream and said, everything's going to be all right, Paul. Just let it be. And so that was the idea that he got for this song. Now, sometimes he's been asked if the phrase Mother Mary referred to the mother of Jesus. McCartney just replied, you know, you can make it whatever you want it to be. So however you want to interpret it, that's totally up to the listener. So if you like to interpret this as Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus, that's fine. But the idea actually came from his real mother, who came to him in a dream. There's your trivia for the day. Yeah. And as we are looking at the song, there's not much of a roadmap. But guess what? I'm going to put one in for you. Ooh. Why? Because it's too short. So what am I going to do? In a weird spot, in a very weird spot, I am actually going to divide a measure on the second page, and we're going to make two complete measures out of these divided measures here. All right, so here's what I'm actually doing. The second page, third line, I'm doing a first ending. So in the middle of that measure, you want to put your repeat dots. And then you have to kind of lengthen out that measure to make 4 counts. So it's going to be a dotted half note and then 2 eighth notes as pickup notes to go back to the beginning. Now the second ending will start in the same spot, and that will just be that whole measure that's there. Is that very confusing, or is it okay? Just copy that down exactly the way that is. I'll leave that there for a minute or two.
Can you say that, please, one more time, Daun?
Yep, it's the third line on the second page, the second measure. I'm dividing the second measure.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
So just copy that, and then that first part of the second measure, you have to actually lengthen that to make it a complete measure before you go back. So you're going to put a dot next to that half note, and then you're going to put 2 eighth notes to be your pickup notes to go back to the beginning of the song. Then your second ending just goes with the measure that's originally there.
Okay, thank you.
So that just makes the song a little bit longer. Why? Because it's an easy song. It's a real easy song. I'm also going to give you a pretty easy introduction. Here comes Steve. A pretty easy introduction and a pretty easy ending. And that'll be on Patreon. And we're going to do one of these too, okay? Now, some of you who have had this class before, it's the same one I did before. I didn't do anything new. That's because I'm working on the contest, so I didn't have any time. So it's the same one that I've done in the past. So if you remember having it from the past, you may already have this. If you do not, it's actually a pretty nice arrangement. So what am I using for rhythms, for backgrounds? I'm actually putting this on soft and easy with no variation. Easy 4/4. On the smaller instruments, it is your smooth full band. Easy 4/4. Smooth full band. Or soft and easy, no variation, easy 4/4. And we're going to start from there. I'm going to play exactly what I did. There's only 5 of them. And I want you to kind of mark in your music where I changed the presets. And then we'll go over all this again.
Is the speed 70 tempo?
Tempo is actually 68. 70's perfect.
Okay.
70's perfect. I'm doing it at 68. But you're actually going to be playing it in double time. You're going to be playing it at like 136 or 140.
Okay.
But you have to just feel it. Oops, where did I put my intro? Got the wrong one on top. There it is. Okay. Okay.
What tempo was that?
That was actually 68, but I was
Okay.
playing it in double time. So
Okay.
it's counting. Oh, let's do this again. It's counting 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm playing it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm playing it in double time.
Okay.
Da, 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 da. So you just got to play it the way it feels. You don't want to put it at 136 because if you did that, this would sound really silly. Okay, so it's that easy 4/4 at 68, but you play the notes in double time. You just feel it. Play it the way it sings. That's the best advice I can give you on any song ever. And you notice I didn't always play quarter notes exactly like quarter notes because if I did, it would sound really, really plinky. And it would sound. want to play it like that. You want to feel it. So sometimes, when you want to make it smooth, you want to play it like you're singing it. Some of your notes you're going to hold a little bit longer. Some of them you're going to wait and do it a little bit late. And do it the way you would actually sing it. Hear the difference?
Dawn,
Yeah.
on that repeat, do you go back to the beginning?
Yes, go all the way back to the beginning. However, not the beginning. Good question. The first measure.
Okay, got it.
See where I've got those pickup notes? The pickup notes here, and in that repeat, you've got your pickup notes right there. You got to write those in. But it is just like you're going back to the beginning. And yes, I made the changes pretty much where you would expect them to be. Your measure, if you count your full measures, measure 16 is the last measure of the first page. So I put a little 16, or you could just write in the preset changes. And your preset changes there are going to be A2 and A4. So measure 16 on the first page, A2 and A4, right at that spot. At the end of your first ending, that's going to be A3 at the end of the first ending. So if you want to put it at the beginning, it actually is the end of your first ending. You want to put A3. You could also put it up here, but it's easier to get to if you put A3 by that first ending. I know it's kind of clogged up right there, but that's where you want to change the background. That's measure 24. So there's only 5 of these. And at that same spot, your second ending, before you get to the second ending, you're going to go to A5. So that's basically A3 and A5 at measure 24. You start with, your introduction is going to be A1. Well, what did I do to get to A1? And you notice I started small, and then I kept building, just building, and then at the very end, I went right back to very small, which is a very typical way of doing an arrangement. I did add a few chords, nothing major. Line 3, third line, the first measure, beats 3 and 4 are going to be chords. Let it be E. And then you're going to play an E minor, a D minor, going to the C. Got it? Beat 3 and 4. Bum, bum, bum. E minor, D minor, C. While
Right.
you're holding that C note. You're going to do the same thing. Line 5, second measure. Let it be bum, bum, bum. E minor, D minor, C. That's measure 15. Beats 3 and 4. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to do that one more time. And that is the second page, second to the last measure, the exact same thing. Beats 3 and 4, E minor, D minor, C. Those are the only chord changes that I'm giving you because it's a simple song.
Okay, where was that? On the
That's
second
the very end
page?
of the song.
Okay, and then add
Very end
C?
of the song.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, the very
minor,
end.
D minor,
Okay,
C.
got it. Yep,
Yep.
yep. That's one line up.
What rhythm are you doing?
I'm using easy 4/4, which is under soft and easy. Or if a smaller organ, it's called smooth. Or in the Inspires and the Journeys, it's under your smooth full band. It should be the very first rhythm there. Easy 4/4 at 68 beats per minute. Actually, if you look, it is in your song setup. So if you go to keypad, go to L, go to song setup, it's going to come up Let It Be. 68 beats per minute, easy 4/4, with that 70s piano on top. So song setup gets you started right off the bat. Now, for those of you who are setting it up by hand, it's easy 4/4. Now, make sure your drum variation is on. Song setup brings it up with the drum variation. The upper sound is the Wurlitzer piano, 70s piano. You're going to take the intro off. Okay, so take off your intro. It's all on the paper, so you can get this on Patreon. You're going to take off the Orc Plus. Because what does the Orc Plus do? It's just more stuff. So take off the Orc Plus and it just makes it a little bit lighter. You're also going to take your drums volume and bring it all the way down to 0. Drums volume to 0.
Because why?
Because I don't want drums at the beginning. The whole
Okay,
first verse I'm playing with no drums,
okay.
just a bass player. You're also going to take off lower tabs. Now, why am I going to take off lower tabs? Or, if you're on a smaller instrument, the left-hand sound. Turn it off. You're still playing chords, and your orchestra is still going to be moving around the chords, but you don't want to hear the humming chords. So you're just going to turn your red master tab off, or turn off your lower left, because what that's going to do is just going to give you no humming chord, but it's just going to change up what's going on. So you can't hear a chord, but it does change what my piano player is doing. Then I'm going to turn on, shh, be quiet, thank you. I'm going to turn on my solo Blue Genius. I'm just going to activate it. It's number 1. It says in the window, Brass Synth 2. It's already there for you. It's just not activated. We're going to use that later, so set it up now. We're going to use it later. We're not going to use it now, because you notice I never went to the lower keyboard, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to change it to the upper keyboard later, so we're going to fix it right now. Questions?
Dawn, well, actually, a comment on the Inspire for the under the song setup. It comes up Trios Romanticos.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
warning to other Inspire people. I
Okay.
don't know if it works.
I'm sure it sounds beautiful on that. I also tried it on soft rock and contempo, and they both sounded fabulous. But if you actually want to make this arrangement, then you got to go back to your smooth, easy 4/4. But thank you, Mona. That's awesome. Now, once you have all that done, then you want to save it. How do you save it? Memorize. I'm not going to do it because I've got it in the E bank, because I've got my contest in the A bank. Memorize A1 with style, with transpose. Then you go back and turn your memorize button off, and that finalizes it. Okay? And you're going to play the intro and the first 15 and a half measures. Measure 16 is where you're going to change it. No drums. No lower chord. going to go to the next preset. So what am I going to change? I am going to add the lower tabs. So I'm putting back in my humming chord. It's just going to make the background sound a little bit fatter. And you're going to do that at the bottom of the first page, the last measure. And you're just going to play those next 8 measures. Now, once you turn on your lower tabs, save it. Put it in A2. Memorize A2 with style, with transpose, then turn your memorize button off and it's there.
Don,
Yes,
that first save that you did, was that A1?
yes. Yep, first one was
Hey.
A1. Don't worry, it's all here. It's all written down here too, so no worries. A2 you play from
Yeah,
measure
but
16 to measure 24.
I gotta wait till Sunday for Robert
Oh!
to put it in.
Oh! Email me, I'll get one to you sooner. Okay, then that's where we're doing the repeat and going back to the beginning and playing the next verse. We're just making it longer. So now what am I doing? Well, I'm going to take my drums volume and add all the way to the top. Drums volume all the way to the top. And then reach over to your upper harmony and put your duet on. Those are the only 2 things. Easy, easy things. And what are you going to play here? You're going to play the first 16 measures, the first 15 measures. Drums. And duet. Okay, now we're going to go to the next one. So what are we going to do for that? Turn on your drum variation. No, turn off your drum variation. So now you're going to get a different drummer. So your drum variation should have been on the whole time. So now we're turning it off. Hear the difference? With drum variation, without it. It's a little heavier. Okay, we're also going to reach up and add string 16, a tab. Why? Because it's going to make that top keyboard thicker. We're already on a duet with a piano, but adding a string is just going to make it a lot thicker. And then we're going to play from measure 16 all the way back to measure 24. All right, so. Okay, now we're going to go to the last one, and we're going to play the last 8 measures. What are we going to do? Now, remember when I had you activate that blue solo 1, your blue solo, your brass synthesizer, and it's been telling it all along to go to the lower right. I am now going to put it in the upper. So I'm just going to touch my upper on. So I am adding some brass to the piano and the strings. I'm also going to add another string. You've already got on string 16, you're going to add string 8 as well. So it's just making my top sound very thick. So building my arrangement in a very simple way. And it sounds like this. And then you just do memorize A5 with style, with transpose. Turn your memorize button off, and there it is. And when you're ready to play the ending, you just touch A1. You just touch number 1 and go back to the very small. And then I played it a second time. Okay? And it's just an easy arrangement. But it does get you to look at all of the things on your instrument and just
So-
find out where they are.
Yeah.
And that's
Dawn, I
what-
have a question.
yeah.
Under A1, it says turn on the Blue Genius, which is solo 1.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Were you supposed to like turn that off or set it somewhere else to not use it?
Just make
Because
sure your
otherwise-
upper on is not on. You're setting it so it's there. You're
And then turn
setting
off
it,
the upper on part?
but leave the upper on part off in A1. You're going to
Okay.
add upper on. I could have added that whole thing later. I could have done that whole thing in A5.
Okay,
Add this, turn upper on. I just preset it.
Mm-hmm.
I could have just done that all in A5.
okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Because you're not actually using it until A5 when you're telling it to go to the upper keyboard.
Dawn,
Yes.
on the second page at the bottom, last two measures, did you fade it out at the end?
No, I did
Oh.
not.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
Nope, I did not. I went from the end of the song
Yeah.
to the printed out ending.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's what it was. Oh,
And then I
okay.
played the ending twice.
There you go.
I played
Okay.
it twice.
Yep.
I played it in the upper octave where it's written. And then I went down an octave. But you don't have to
Oh.
do that.
All right. Okay.
That's all I did. Kept it nice and simple. But sometimes just these little additions really change up a song and make it nice.
Mhm,
And everything I did was very subtle,
mhm.
very subtle. I'm not doing major preset changes, although you could have. If you don't want to do any of these things that I did, you might just want to be on trios romanticos and do the top keyboard, the lower keyboard, add a harmony, add a string tab, or poke a different preset and make something up of your own.
Mhm.
The whole idea is to get you to be really creative in what you're working with. But
Yep.
these exercises, these arrangements, are really just for you to be able to say, what'd she do? She changed a sound. Why did she do that? Oh, because right now it's going to the lower right, and later I'm going to put it to the upper. Or
Mhm.
what does that string tab do? How does it change the sound? How does the second string tab change the sound? Ooh, makes it even bigger. And then
Mhm.
when I add the brass, see how big that sound gets? It's just subtle changes. And really, I'm just working with what's there. I did not go into the geniuses and look for other things. I'm just using what is there,
Mhm.
using what is
Mhm.
already there in front of you. Questions?
Well, that'll be interesting. Oof.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to try it. I think it will. I think you will really like it.
Yeah.
Okay. How are we
Okay.
doing on time? Oh, my
I
God,
played
we
the
got lots
melody.
of time. This was an easy
Dawn, a
lesson.
question.
Yes.
Uh, When you get to the first ending, why did you add the two notes in measure 24 rather than just go back to the beginning to the pickup?
Because you never put, see, and I broke my own rule. You're not supposed to put repeat dots in the middle of a measure.
Oh.
See,
Okay, I got it.
repeat dots never go back to, you have an incomplete measure to start. So to follow the musical rules, I needed to start my repeats at the beginning of the first full measure. Okay?
Oh,
You don't,
Thank you, thank you.
yeah, you don't
Wow.
start it all the way back to the beginning. So, but that's why I had to divide that measure and add some extra beats in order to make that first ending a complete measure.
I see.
Yeah. Yep. I know that's probably the trickiest part in there.
Yeah.
But once you play it a
Nice.
couple times, you go, oh, I understand what she did. That's easy. Yeah. Because the song itself there is not hard. This is one of those
Mhm.
very nice songs that everybody knows. And it's just a really upbeat song, and it's a feel-good song. It just makes you feel good. So enjoy playing. I'm going to play it one more time. Then we'll do fingering. But there's really not that much to this. Okay.
Enough there to confuse me.
Yeah, I'll give you fingering. No worries. Okay. Make sense now?
Very pretty.
And these are just
Very
subtle,
pretty.
subtle changes. And don't feel like this is the only song, where you want to make subtle changes. Sometimes it's drastic. You just want to touch a preset and have a whole drastic change. And sometimes not. Sometimes you just want to add a string, add some of this, take a drummer out, switch your drummers, switch your bass player. Try different things. When you learn where these things are in your instrument, then you can not only poke them, but listen. What is it changing? How is it changing?
Mhm.
Okay? Now, next week we're going to skip the Marvin Gaye song because it's 100 pages long. And I hope I don't have any objections on that. And we will go to Love Will Keep Us Together. How does that sound?
Holy cheapers, that is long.
Yes,
Whoa.
it is. So we'll skip that song and we'll go to Love Will Keep Us Together. I think that'll be a much nicer song to teach.
Wow.
Aw,
Oh, David, you're the only one I knew that was going to do that.
but that's a good song. It's Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, I know it's Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye's very difficult to put on the organ and make it sound good.
Wow.
Do you have fingering for it? I'll come
I do
in.
not. I do not. I haven't even done it. Nope. Now, if I go back and play it and go, ooh, yeah, I think we should have done that. And
Yes.
then after Love Will Keep Us Together, I am going to try to still fill in Layla. because I promised Mona we'd do Layla, but not until she gets back from vacation. So, because I think she's leaving again. She's here today, but I think she's leaving again. So we'll do Layla. I want to write out the whole piano solo at the end. That's why I'm waiting until after the contest so that I have actually some time. You guys are so awesome. I love this class. You're the best.
Dawn, what time Saturday again?
Saturday, 1 o'clock Florida time. That is 11 o'clock Arizona time.
All right, got it.
You're only 2 hours back.
You
with
got
this.
it.
Yeah.
We can fly out and visit us.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on over. It's going to be a blast at the store.
Yeah,
Love to have you all on Zoom.
I signed in an hour, my regular time on the last class and waited about 20 minutes and realized we had a time change.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
guys don't change times. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
We did. You guys, so
Yeah.
now instead of being 3 hours back, you guys are only 2 hours back.
Yeah, right.
So 1 o'clock Florida time, and that's 11 o'clock Arizona time. Get your list of 10 songs ready, or not. You can just listen to it as a concert. And trust me, some of these songs will be the first time you ever hear them on an organ, and probably the last time. But it should be lots of fun.
Sure.
All right, stick around if you need fingering. The rest of you, I love you guys, and we'll see you at the next class. We'll see you Saturday at the contest. Okay. here we go.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dawn.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, here we go with fingering. Get your pencils out. G2, 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 G2.
Wait.
Wait.
Wait. Here we
I'm
go.
not very good.
G again?
G2.
Okay,
G2, G2, G2. Okay, you got it?
got it.
Yeah.
A3. D1. G2, G2. C3. That is a big jump, but you can do it. D4. E5, E5, E5. D4. D4. C3, C3. E4, E4. F5. E4. E4, D3. E4, D3. Next line, D3, C2. All right, I'm just going to
Don, somebody has their,
Yeah, I
stuff
noticed
on.
that. I'm going to mute you guys all. Thank you. Let's go back to line 3. The line 3 is D3 and C2. G1, G1, G1. A2, C4. G1, G1. C2, D3. Next line, D3, E4, E4, D3, D3, C2, C2, E4, E4, F5, E4, E4, D3, E4, D3, D3, C2, E3, D2, next page, C1, E2, G4, A5, G4, 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 E3, D2, C1, A2, circle it, that's a crossover, G1, next line, high E5, C3, E4, E4, F5, E4, E4, D3, E4, D3, D3, C2. Your pickup notes are G2, G2 that you wrote in. And then your second ending, The high E is a 3, D2, C1, E2, G4, A5, G4, G4, G4. Next line, E3, D2, C1, A2 with a circle, cross it over, G1, high E5, C3, E4, E4, F5, E4, E4, D3, E4, D3, D3, C2, and that's it. And I've got fingering on your introduction, and if you need this stuff before Sunday, since Robert's being so late with all his stuff, he's busy too, just email me 5028@fletchermusic.com, and I'll make sure I get it to you.
The last C was a 2.
Yes. Yes, sir. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Email me if you have any questions.
See you Saturday.
Okie dokie. I'll be here.
Bye.
Bye.